Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon or good evening, everyone. Glad you could join me for this week's leadership success tip. I am talking about this week the danger of providing the wrong support and how to properly support your team. Because we know that it's essential as a leader that you provide support to your team, because most of what you do is to support them and to help them operate to their fullest capacity and to their fullest potential. As a leader, that should take a lot of your time and be a lot of your focus. Because if you focus on your team, then they can focus on your serving your customers well and providing the type of service that they need and adding value to them. So I want to talk to you about support, because support is the number one thing that a leader should do. And people often, will say that, oh, my leader doesn't support me or something to that effect. So how do we avoid that? And I want to give you an example of the wrong type of support before I give you one tip as to how to provide the right type of support. Here in the U.S., there are some protests going on in Portland as well as in Seattle. And the president dispatched and assigned federal agents to try to deter these protests. Now, the protests, according to U.S. law, they have a right to do as long as they're peaceful. And so in Seattle, the mayor stated that she did not want federal personnel in the city. She did not need federal assistance, but the president sent them anyway. And so what occurred is, during a protest, the protesters saw the federal agents, which then caused some type of exchange, which escalated the situation. And the mayor, said publicly on the news after that she did not want that help. And she felt that help was the wrong type of help, which she felt made the situation worse. And so what I'm pulling from that example is this: as a leader, if you are supporting people, but it's not the way they need help and is not really the proper type of support, then it can escalate a situation and cause it to be worse and to have a outcome that is different than the outcome that is needed. And so as a leader, you have to be careful, because everything you do and say has an effect on the people you are leading, but also a ripple effect upon not just them, but your customers and everyone who is watching you lead. And so here's a tip that how you can make sure that you are providing the right type of support to your team. Number one, it just starts with a question. Ask them, how can I support you? You may see a need and you may see things that need to get done, but always ask the question. Find out what they need help in, because that is the best way, because they will be receptive to your help if it's an acknowledged need. So ask them, how can I support you? And then they'll tell you, and then provide support in that area. And once the dialogue is open, and as you're supporting in that one area, then you can provide support in additional areas that you may see that your team might not see. They might not just have noticed that they have that need. But if they say, I don't know, after you ask the question, then share your insights with them based on what you see, what you observe, and then ask them, would this be a help to you? So if you ask, how can I support you? They say, I don't know. You share your insights and say, would this help you? Now you're soliciting their agreement and their response. And if they say yes, you're good to go. If they say no, then you can dialogue some more and just ask some questions to find out what it is they feel like they need help with. Because once you help them in the way that they need it, and they have acknowledged they need it, then they'll be open to receive the help, and you won't escalate a situation or make it worse, but it'll actually move in the direction that you need to keep things moving in. All right, so that's it. That's all I wanted to share for this week's leadership success tip. All right, so I'll make sure that you are leading authentically and strategically. And if you have any questions, any leadership challenges that you're facing, feel free to reach out to me and schedule, a one-on-one free strategy session, and I'll try to help you as best I can. All right, that's it. Be successful.